So, today I wanted to talk all about validating emotions because I tend to work with a lot of people who are releasing deep subconscious, negative, limiting memories, traumas, beliefs, mindsets, ego agendas, self sabotaging behavior. And it's really, really fun to see them clear them and then transform on the other side. But often, what I notice is we hold a lot of self judgment when we have not worked through something and we do not allow ourselves to fully engage in the feeling of all of the spectrum of emotions that we are capable of feeling. It's almost like I shouldn't feel. I shouldn't feel sad, or I shouldn't feel angry, or I should have got over that by now, or other people have it worse than me. And we can really invalidate ourselves. And I work a lot with the soul contract reading system. And this is basically a system that uses the sound of your name. And based on the sound of your name, it creates the reality and the experiences that come through from the sound, which is vibration and frequency. So you have a soul contract and it has particular energies in, and those are the energies that your soul is really consciously wanting to work through in this lifetime in order to ascend back to love, back to source, back to God, back to the universe. So we're here on earth with our soul contracts to learn to feel. This is a feeling planet where we are dealing with people and circumstances and situations which are really pushing us to engage with our feelings. And what can happen is there's some energies in the soul contract system that are really relevant to the story I'm telling. Less of a story, more of a diving into. So, a 10-1 energy, a lot of people have the 10-1, and this is all about holding yourself in high judgment and high expectations and not allowing yourself the self compassion to gently let those high judgments of yourself down. So it can be really easy to judge yourself and to judge others and to forget that you're only human and you're doing the best that you can at all times. Another number that's really relevant to this story is the 18-9. When you have an 18-9 in your chart, it can often be a case of really judging and feeling very guilty for your past actions. And we're not here to stay in the guilt of the past. We are here to be in the present, and the present is then becoming the future. So it's all about letting that go. And if you want to know what your chart is, I'm going to put the link below. And then if you want to dive into it further, then you can book a reading. There's two more numbers I'm going to talk about in relationship to energies, to emotions. The first is the 3, and the second is the 8. So you may have a 12-3 or a 3-3 or I was trying to add up there, a 17-8 or an 8-8 energy. And often the 3s and the 8s really don't want to feel. The 8s in particular, I have 8s. We don't want to feel things. We'd rather numb them out and not really feel what's going on under the surface. So when we're dealing with emotions, we don't want to numb them out. Because what happens is they come up and they bite us later in life. If you're holding on to a particular trauma, the resonance of it, the memory of it stays in your cellular memory. And what happens is this sits in your energy field, and your energy field stays with that energy. So quite often we do go through the same things, the same patterns, the same habits, the same situations, the same circumstances, attracting the same people into our life because we're still resonating at that vibration of whatever happened. So it's something to be really mindful of. I'm really not a fan of saying you attract, you're always attracting how you're thinking and feeling, which is on a level true, but there are a lot of forces outside of our control as well. But this one is in our control. The second thing, when we store, numb, and bottle down our emotions and our painful memories, difficult emotions that we don't want to feel, sadness, grief, anger, bitterness, resentment, rage, they tend to come out in physical manifestations. And I learned this through studying systematic kinesiology and the traditional Chinese medicine. They have a clock, and different emotions are stored in different areas of the body. And with every client I worked with, I found this to be true. So grief sits in the lungs, not being able to let go of a particular emotion can often sit in the large intestines. Lack of joy, in particular around your personal power, sits in your small intestine, which is where the solar plexus is. Feeling very annoyed in the neck. I mean, there's so many different body parts and different messages and different things from every different part of your body where things get stored up. Rage, resentment, bitterness, jealousy, anger in the liver and the gallbladder. And of course, the heart, a big lack of joy, big grief, the self-esteem with your immune system. Goes on and on. So we don't want to bottle feelings up. On the other side of the spectrum, we don't want to wallow in them. We don't want to sit in the field of an emotion and come into a victim consciousness, which is why me, poor me, bad things always happen to me. You can imagine the types of things that we say to ourselves, me included. So we have to be very, very careful that we don't bottle and invalidate ourselves and the experiences we've gone through. We're allowed to feel sad. We're allowed to feel angry. We're allowed to feel rage. We're allowed to feel any emotion. We're here to feel them all on earth. But we're not here to sit in them and stay in that field and not work through them and understand what they're telling us, because emotions are a map for us to understand ourselves more deeply. So don't ignore them, embrace them. They are there to be worked through and felt. And the more you feel them, the more you clear them. And that's exactly the work I do with my clients. I really help them to release what no longer serves them so they can really relax into who they are, into the life they're living, and really navigate their life with a lot more joy, ease, trust, resilience. And this is a really great joy for me. So stick around, subscribe if you like this kind of content. Put all my links down below. And until next time, I wish you a very beautiful rest of your day.